Welcome to the Day After Podcast, an extension of the YouTube channel The Jestour, where today we have a fun new segment called PIXAR Sunday.
Called Fuck PIXAR Sunday?
No, it's generic PIXAR subplot where for the next 21 weeks, every Sunday we're going to talk about a new PIXAR movie, beginning with 1995's Toy Story and ending with 2020's Onward. But today is Big Boy. Big special boy.
It changed a lot of, it really changed television, and it really impacted a lot of people and a lot of kids.
What I really enjoy about Toy Story is that in all of the background talks that they've had, the people that made it aren't held up by nostalgia. Pretty much everybody who made that movie is like, that movie looks like garbage now.
And honestly, like they say, yeah, it looks like garbage. However, there's lots of parts of it that are still really, really good looking.
Oh, yeah, they all look decent.
The humans are a little wonky, but all of the main characters, all the toys look really, really solid.
So PIXAR was founded in 1986 as a branch of a Disney branch that did specifically computer stuff.
Okay.
So in 1983, John Lasseter, who directed this movie, he came in and he, over the next couple of years, they considered this new program that could help, make short films and more comprehensive computer graphics than they had at the time. And an intern said, "Let's call it the Picture Maker." And he goes, "I like what you're thinking. A little more catchy. Okay, the PIXAR. Okay, let's change the E to an A, and that's where they got their name."
Okay.
And he's their logo mascot Luxo Jr. was in their first short. That's why it's a lamp.
Right on.
There you go. In 1995, it's like The Shining. What do you talk about besides it's so influential?
Right, yeah, it was the first, correct me if I'm wrong, the first fully 3D computer animated movie.
Correct.
So it's got that going for it. It was Pixar's first film. It's got Tom Hanks and Tim Allen fighting a lot.
Which my God.
I didn't know that was my thing.
Your thing.
I like this movie. I remember seeing it when it came out, and when you're a kid, you don't really absorb the fact, this is a monumental movie. Nothing like this had ever been done before.
This was, to John Lasseter's sad face, this is one of the movies that helps signal the end of 2D animation, because this movie came out the same year as Pocahontas.
Oh, okay.
And suitably, I think it kind of got crushed.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of I appreciate this movie. I like it. I enjoy watching it. But my husband over here,
it's my very special warm fuzzy movie that I watched it 10 million times.
He's a mega fanboy.
I love Toy Story so much.
The entire time we were watching it, you kept throwing fun facts at me.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Well.
One thing I want to mention before we go on, you mentioned John Lasseter is the director of this. The screenplay was done by Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon helped with the screenplay along with Joel Cohen, who not Joel and Ethan Cohen. Joel Cohen, who worked on the Garfield movies.
Oh, okay.
And he works with the guy Sokolow, but they work together very frequently.
This is one of those movies, I learn something every single time I watch it. I had no idea Joss Whedon... I was today years old when I realized that Joss Whedon worked on Toy Story.
So, it's also got Steve Jobs' name on it, because Steve Jobs at the time was the largest shareholder for Pixar.
Okay.
And when Pixar got bought by Disney in 2006, when that happened, he was the biggest shareholder at Disney as a result.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's the one that threw money at it, because they didn't have a great budget, which is why they chose to make something about toys, because their other shorts, when they tried to imitate actual things, look like ass.
Yeah. And so and with toys, you don't have to. You can. They're made of plastic. You don't have to worry about skin and hair and fur and that kind of thing.
It is, oh yeah, and to see where they go later.
Which is kind of amazing that Monsters Inc. comes right on the heels of this, but we can talk about that next week.
Later. Welcome to a fun segment we do in each of these episodes about, I don't know, it's called The Mainstays. Screw it, title card. This is where things that show up in every movie, and the main thing is a guy named John Ratzenberger. Who is that voice you see in every Pixar movie.
He's Ham.
He's Ham in this one.
Yeah.
This man is a very wealthy man, because there's a list online of the most profitable actors in film ever.
Okay.
That list goes Stan Lee, Samuel L. Jackson, and then John Ratzenberger, After that, it's Frank Welker, the man who's been the voice of Fred Jones from Scooby-Doo for 51 years.
Oh, okay.
And then Bob Bergen, the voice of Porky Pig. So this man has been in so much shit.
Wow.
But, he first started as Ham, kind of the snarky little piggy bank boy. A113, there's a little ton of listicles online about where this shows up in different Pixar movies. This is an easy one to start out with. A113 is the name, the code of the classroom where they learned about their computer graphics classroom. It's the license plate on Andy's mom's car. The Luxor ball is easy to find because this is pretty much where it started. And Pizza Planet is, Pizza Planet.
I didn't know the Luxor ball was one of the mainstays of Pixar.
Yes. There's a very handy list on Wikipedia of things that show up in every Pixar movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's that yellow ball with the red star, right?
And the blue stripe, correct.
And the blue stripe around it, yeah. Okay.
This is a very existential movie. There's a moment where you think that Sid is the villain or the bad kid or whatever, but there's a moment right before Buzz figures out he's not a real spaceman, where it pauses on a frame of a room where that commercial is playing, and there's so many details that give like a very background painting of Sid's life. There's a man passed out with some beers in a very ugly chair, watching a TV that has no knobs. There's a wrench attached to it, and it just.
Well, yeah, and you can even see like wandering around Sid's house, like his, and even like in that big chase scene when they're riding RC, Sid clearly has the poorest house on the block.
It's a much lower class house, and not to say that Andy's affluent,
No, it's just
not one bit, but that's.
I mean, heck, he shares a room with his baby sister.
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
Which I always thought was weird. Why do you have the baby sleeping in the same room as the kid?
Well, it's a normal-sized house, I guess. Fucking love Slinky Dog. I thought this was going to be longer, but what do you want us to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to convince you that this is an amazing movie. I mean, Pixar is one of the most famous companies in the entire world.
It's...
the characters are really well done. Who's the comedian that plays Potato Head?
Let's talk about Don Rickles. Here's the thing: is
so extra.
Don Rickles died approximately 3 years ago in 2017 at the age of 90.
Oh wow! Okay.
Now, when I saw Don Rickles as a kid in the title, this is all I know him from. He's had a whole lifetime of being an insult comic in the 50s and whenever he was born or whenever he was active, and like my parents laughed at him. Like, Dad, who's Don Rickles? Just don't worry about it. Because you can't explain old comedy, let alone old insult comedy.
This man is so famous that in the Toy Story ride at Disney World, they have a giant Mr. Potato Head doing Don Rickles stand-up.
That's really... they do, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, his actual stand-up?
Yeah, his actual... I think some of it's his actual stand-up, some of it was written for the... just for the ride.
Which is weird to say that...
I told John as we were watching this movie, I used to get mad at Mr. Potato Head for being such an asshole to Woody, because I did kind of like Woody. And then you realize, but with watching the Black Friday sketch, what a fucking dick Woody is and was going to be.
So, just a couple heads up, this movie was almost named Toys in the Hood. Thank fucking God. This movie suffered a kind of a troubled production because they wanted to push it to be edgier and contain a lot of those adult jokes that kids aren't going to get.
Yeah.
Which led to a really cynical movie that culminates with what is known infamously now as the Black Friday showing, which is just a storyboard conceit of a scene that got cut or re-altered of just Woody being an absolute prick face. With like it's like the army man telling him you are an absolute disgrace, which made the movie. Mm-hmm. But then it's Woody continuing to be like, "Hey, I'm the sheriff. Slink, get off the bed." And everybody like in the Mall of America not responding well.
They were just like, "What the fuck?"
That's why you have to storyboard, because rendering takes a long time and a lot of money.
Yes, yeah. You want to make sure you know what you're doing before you put all that work into it.
Thank God it turned out to be the movie that it is. It holds up so good. Not graphically, but it holds up really good.
I did want to say with the series, I'm kind of amazed that Toy Story 2 actually followed on the heels of this pretty quickly. We'll be doing the other movies. We are not going to do 4 again, just because we already have a podcast on that.
And we don't have a high opinion of 4,
and
but that's not going to
watch it again.
That's not going to stop us, because we're going to watch Cars 2.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Which I'm a weirdo. that movie is bad. It's not the worst thing
It's
ever.
also neither here nor there. God, I like this movie a lot.
So what about this movie is just tugs at your little boy heart?
I don't know, just the idea. I went to rewatch this in 2010, which is a major transformative year in my life. I had graduated high school. I was thinking about my life goals and my viewpoints, and to have such a normal thing like a toy struggle with existentialism like that really shook me. And
one of my favorite jokes I like to tell about this movie is somebody hypothetically asking me, "Oh, your husband really likes Toy Story. Does he cry at I Will Go Sailing no more?" And I'm like, dude, he doesn't make it past Strange Things.
Not to shit on Randy. I'm not shitting on Randy Newman. He did a really good job. He is still alive though.
Okay, good. Yeah, I thought he was dead, but he's not.
But like Wallace Shawn, how do you get Wallace Shawn to do anything? He's the Princess Bride character forever.
Yeah.
Here he's like, let's just Rex. He's just an amazing man.
And he might be more famous now for Rex than he is for the Princess Bride or the Princess Bride, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. I can't believe it. After 11 minutes, we're gonna go into final thoughts because
one last thing I want to talk about. We talked about it at the end of the movie. That fan theory that
that's a good point. Bring it up.
Woody and Buzz are personifications of Andy's missing dad.
I liked it at first. I liked the idea that they're father figures. Maybe not that they're personifications of Andy's dad, because I was reading that the reason that the dad does not show up is because they did not have the budget to rig and animate a model of Andy's dad.
Oh, okay.
Which is why he doesn't show up.
Yeah,
and later, Word of God style, they painted over that by some of the creators insinuating that she is a widow.
Okay.
But it doesn't come from that subtextual place. It comes from a place of we didn't have the money.
Yeah, and there's like 8,000 fan theories about this movie. That's just the one I constantly see over and over again.
That is nice.
And I like that interesting take on the things that kids have and the things that kids hold dear actually take care of them rather than the other way around.
Yeah, the idea that they really like to be played with, that's so good.
Yeah.
And it's such an easy wraparound that I really think they did an awesome good job. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, we can't say too much more about it. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it in a while, go watch it again. It still definitely holds up.
But that has been episode 1 of our 21 Sunday series.
Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe they won't all be this short, but...
No, they won't all be this short, but this is the shining of kids' movies. You know, there's nothing to talk about that hasn't been beaten into the ground.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about that hasn't been said before.
What we need is a movie about fan theories of Toy Story.
What was the short that played at the beginning of this movie? Was it Luxo?
It's almost I don't think they were doing shorts right away, actually.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's another thing we'll have to talk about, is that they play shorts at the beginning of every movie.
Yes.
But this was such an endeavor, I don't think they put a short in front of it.
Yeah.
All right. But thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Tune in a week from today when we're going to tackle 1998's A Bug's Life.
Yay!
Yay! Don't keep your hands up. I know you don't like that, but...
Oh, I don't mind that.
We'll find out.